The oak does not beg the storm for mercy. It stands, and thus it becomes eternal. There is a sickness in the soul of this age, a trembling, a wavering, a surrender to the winds of opinion, the tides of fear, the crushing weight of mere existence. Men bow before shadows, kneel before specters of doubt, and trade their spines for the fleeting warmth of approval. But I tell you now, with the fire of 1,000 suns burning in my chest, you were not made to bend. The world will come for you. It will come with its howling gales of distraction, its siren songs of ease, its slow poison of compromise. It will whisper, break just a little. Yield just this once. And if you listen, you will wake one day to find your backbone replaced with straw, your will dissolved like salt in the sea. But there is another way, an ancient way, the way of the cliff that defies the ocean, of the star that burns cold and indifferent to the night around it. You must become immovable, not out of stubbornness, but out of truth, not out of pride, but out of principle. Look to the old things, the mountains, the monoliths, the cathedrals built to outlast empires. What do they know that you have forgotten? They understand the language of roots. They know that depth is the price of height. A man who has not dug his foundations in solitude, in suffering, in the quiet furnace of self-examination, will be swept away by the first gust of adversity. You ask how to stand firm? Then answer me this. Upon what have you built your life? Is it the shifting sand of reputation, the rotting wood of wealth, the brittle glass of others' opinions? These things cannot hold you. They will crack beneath you, and you will fall, and the world will not pause to mourn. But if you build upon the bedrock of character, if you forge your soul in the fires of discipline, if you anchor yourself to truth, then no force on earth can uproot you. Do not curse the tempest. It is your teacher. The wind does not hate the oak. It reveals its strength. Adversity is not your enemy. It is the chisel that shapes you into something unbreakable. I have seen men of great promise crumble like dry clay at the first touch of hardship. I have seen others, humble, silent, unassuming, stand unmoved while the world raged around them. What separates them? Not luck, not circumstance, but choice. The weak man prays for calm waters. The strong man prepares his ship for storms. To stand firm is not to stand still. It is an active defiance, a daily rebellion against the gravity of mediocrity. You must guard your mind like a fortress. Let no lie enter unchallenged. Steel your heart against the opium of pity. Renew your purpose each dawn, as the smith renews the edge of his blade. The world will try to erode you, drop by drop, blow by blow. But stone does not apologize for its hardness. It does not soften itself to spare the hammer. You were born for this, not for a life of cowering, of half measures, of surrender. You were born to stand when others kneel, to stand when the earth itself shakes, to stand so fiercely that the ages cannot forget your name. Let them call you rigid. Let them mock your resolve. While they bend, you will endure. While they break, you will remain. And long after their names have faded like mist in the morning sun, the echo of your defiance will still be heard in the bones of the world. Most men dig their graves with a shovel of tomorrow. Time is not a river. It is a thief. It does not flow, it steals. And the man who hesitates, who lingers in the doorway of his own life, will wake to find his strength gone, his fire ash, his name written in water. I have walked through the graveyards of the unmade, the unlived, the almost great. Do you know what I found there? Epitaphs of if only and someday. The air was thick with the stench of wasted potential, the ghostly whispers of deeds undone, of battles unfought. Do not join them. There is a poison in postponement, a slow paralysis that begins as a whisper and ends as a coffin. Wait, it hisses. The hour is not right. You are not ready. And so the dreamer waits for the perfect moment, for the sign from heaven, for the fear to leave him. But hear me now. The perfect moment is a myth. The brave do not wait for courage. They act, and courage is born in the acting. Count the days, subtract the years already lost. How many remain? Fewer than you think, and each one that passes unclaimed is a spark that will never again light the darkness. You say you will begin tomorrow? Fool, tomorrow is the lie of the weak, the incantation of the damned. Today is the only day that belongs to you. There is but one cure for the rot of delay, the sword of decision. Swing it now. Cut the cord of hesitation. Let the blood of action wash away the stain of regret. Move. Now, before the clock strikes the hour of your ruin. The soul is either forged in fire or consumed by it. There is no middle ground. Men flee from pain as though it were the plague. They numb it, drown it, bury it beneath a mountain of distractions. But I tell you plainly, you cannot escape the fire. You can only choose what it makes of you. Every great soul that has ever walked this earth was tempered in suffering. The sword does not become keen without the whetstone. The diamond does not shine without the grind. Yet modern man, soft and sighing, begs the universe for ease as if comfort were the highest virtue. But what is comfort but the slow death of the spirit? We say suffering is meaningless. We say it is unfair. We say, why me? As though the universe owes us an explanation. But suffering is not an accident. It is an assignment. The coal does not curse the pressure that turns it to diamond. The wheat does not revolt against the scythe. Why then do you rage against the very thing that could elevate you? There are two kinds of men in this world, those who are burned by suffering and those who are forged by it. The first kind shrinks, withers, becomes bitter and brittle. The second kind, rarer, wiser, learns the secret. Pain is the chisel of the divine. It strips away the false, the weak, the unworthy. It leaves only what is real. Do you wish to be strong? Then stop begging for lighter burdens and start building stronger shoulders. You are standing at the furnace door. The flames roar, the heat sears, and fear whispers, step back. But greatness whispers louder, step forward. Will you let the fire break you, or will you let it make you? There is a battle being waged inside you at this very moment, a war older than empires, fiercer than armies. On one side stands the man you are, on the other, the man you could be. And every second of every day you are choosing which one will survive. Most men never raise their fists in this fight. They surrender before the first blow is struck, signing treaties of compromise with their weaker selves. They call it peace, but it is slavery. Your enemy knows you better than any foe on earth. It speaks with your voice, thinks with your mind, wears your memories like armor. It is the part of you that chooses later over now, easy over right, fear over glory. It does not attack with swords, but with whispers. Rest a little longer. You've earned the indulgence. Who are you to dream so boldly? You cannot kill this enemy, but you can starve it. Feed it no lies, give it no quarter. Let it scream, but never let it rule. The strongest chains are the ones we stop feeling. Break them. This war will not wait. While you hesitate, your weaker self grows stronger. While you negotiate, it entrenches itself deeper. Today, this very hour, you must choose. Will you die a prisoner, or will you die a king? There comes for every man and woman an hour so black, so heavy, that it seems the sun itself has died. In this hour, all lies are burned away. All pretenses crumble. You stand naked before the truth of who you are. Most will run from this moment. They will drown it in drink, bury it in busyness, or worse, they will let it break them. But I say unto you, this darkness is your sacred ground. History's greatest souls were not forged in victory, but in the crucible of defeat. Dante wrote his masterpiece in exile. Beethoven composed his symphonies in deafness. The phoenix must burn before it can rise. Your suffering is not your enemy. It is your refiner's fire. The question is not why you must endure it, but what you will become by walking through it. When darkness comes, as come it must, you will be tempted by three thieves. The thief of memory who whispers, "Look how far you've fallen." The thief of moment who hisses, "This pain will never end." The thief of future who sneers, "You'll never rise again." But I tell you this, the night is always darkest just before the dawn, but dawn always comes. There are truths that can only be seen in the midnight hour. The strength you never knew you had, the friends who were never truly friends, the purpose that was waiting beneath the rubble of your plans. Do not waste your darkness. Learn its lessons. Then, when the first light breaks, you will rise not as you were, but as you were meant to be. The modern world worships at the altar of noise, but God speaks in silence. We live in an age of ceaseless clamor, a bombardment of voices, screens, and empty words that leave the soul parched and weary. Men have forgotten how to sit quietly in a room alone. They fear silence like children fear the dark. But I tell you plainly, until you make peace with silence, you will never know peace at all. There is a sanctuary inside you, a holy place untouched by the world's chaos. Most never find it because they cannot bear the journey inward. It requires courage to face what you might discover in those quiet depths. But oh, the treasures that await. Clarity like mountain air. Wisdom older than the oaks, the still small voice that has been calling you since birth. Begin as the monks do, with small obediences. 5 minutes at dawn with no device, no distraction. A walk without headphones. Let the earth speak. The courage to eat one meal in perfect silence. These are not exercises, they are resurrections. In the silence, you will hear two voices. The voice of fear that says, "You are not enough." The voice of truth that says, "You are more than enough." The tragedy of our age is that most never learn to tell the difference. Legacy is not what you leave behind. It's what refuses to leave you. Men waste their days chasing monuments of stone and steel, never realizing that the only true immortality lives in the hearts they touch. A name carved in marble gathers moss. A truth planted in a human soul becomes eternal. Those who build temples to their own ego. Those who become temples where others find shelter. The first are forgotten before their graves grow cold. The second live forever in the unbroken chain of lives they changed. Every word you speak, every act of courage or cowardice creates ripples in the pond of time. A kindness shown today may save a life a century hence. A truth spoken boldly may ignite revolutions in minds yet unborn. You are not living merely for this hour, you are living for all hours. When the last trumpet sounds and all accounts are settled, only one question will remain. Did you love well? Not did you win, not did you acquire, but did you love? Beware the man who has never been broken, for his wholeness is an illusion, and his strength a house of cards. There comes a moment in every life when the ground gives way beneath you, when the carefully constructed identity you've worn like armor cracks open, and you stand exposed to the merciless gaze of truth. This is not your destruction, though it will feel like dying. This is your rebirth. The Japanese art of kintsugi repairs broken pottery with gold. making the fractures more beautiful than the original form. So too with the human soul. Your breaks are not your shame, they are your sacred geometry. Consider the caterpillar in its cocoon. What looks like decay is actually metamorphosis. The creature must completely dissolve before it can emerge as something new. You are no different. Every great transformation in history, every renaissance, every reformation, every revolution was preceded by collapse. The forest must burn for new growth to emerge. The wheat must be crushed to become bread. The breaking when all familiar things fall away. The emptying when you stand hollowed out before God. The remaking when grace rebuilds you from the ground up. Most men never move past the first stage. They spend their lives trying to glue the pieces back exactly as they were, never suspecting they were meant to be rearranged into something greater. The hardest part is the in-between, when you're no longer what you were, but not yet what you'll become. This is where faith is born. This is where real strength takes root. Don't rush the process. The deepest healings happen in darkness, underground, where no one can see. When the time is right, you'll emerge, not restored, but transformed. Civilization is built by men who plant trees whose shade they'll never sit under. Modern man is a creature of instant gratification, addicted to the dopamine hit of quick results. He has forgotten the ancient wisdom of the sequoia, that the mightiest things grow slowly, in silence, against all odds. True legacy is never accidental. It is the deliberate work of those rare souls who measure their lives not in years, but in centuries. The immediate timeline, where most live and die. Chasing Friday nights. Counting paychecks, measuring worth in likes and followers. The eternal timeline, where legends are made. Planting seeds in soil you'll never see. Writing books you won't live to read. Fighting battles whose victory you'll never witness. The first timeline makes a life, the second makes history. The great cathedral builders knew they would never see their work completed, yet they laid each stone with precision, each carving with care, because they understood. Excellence is its own reward. Duty is its own wage. Truth is its own vindication. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what have I done today that will matter in 100 years? The answer will tell you everything about the life you're really building. The greatest prison isn't made of iron bars, it's made of comfortable lies. Most men go to their graves never realizing they were enslaved, not by external forces, but by the invisible shackles of their own unquestioned assumptions. The most dangerous lies aren't those told to us, but those we tell ourselves. Freedom begins with one courageous act, pulling up the floorboards of your mind to see what's rotting beneath. Modern man kneels before the altar of convenience, whatever's easiest, the altar of approval, whatever makes me liked, the altar of familiarity, whatever I've always done. These are not gods, they are jailers in disguise. Identify your inherited beliefs. What were you taught that you've never questioned? Trace their origins. Who benefits from you believing this? Test them against reality. Do these beliefs hold up to scrutiny? This is the intellectual equivalent of chemotherapy. Painful, but necessary to kill what's killing you. Truth comes with a price. You will lose friends. You will upset family. You will spend nights staring at the ceiling. But what you gain is priceless. A mind that's truly your own. Character isn't built in the spotlight, it's forged in the shadows where no one's watching. Every man has two selves, the one the world sees and the one that exists when no eyes are upon him. The distance between these two selves is the measure of his integrity. Greatness isn't performed, it's practiced. In those quiet moments when temptation whispers, "No one will know," destiny is being decided. The 3 midnight tests, the test of discipline, when you're exhausted but still choose to prepare. The test of honesty, when cheating would be easy and rewarding. The test of compassion, when helping inconveniences you. These are the moments that make or break souls. Small, invisible choices. That extra hour of study when friends are out drinking, the returned wallet when no one's around to applaud, the resisted temptation that leaves no witnesses. These are the deposits in your moral bank account. One day, when life demands everything you have, you'll be glad you saved one day. When your life flashes before your eyes at the end, it won't be the public triumphs you see most clearly. It will be those private moments when you chose right over easy, true over convenient, noble over pleasurable. Live now for that moment of reckoning.